and focus primarily on finding a face-saving exit from Afghanistan, that they want India to engage Pakistan and hold these peace talks even in the face of renewed terror.
No, but Professor Sumit Ganguly, America expects restraint from India. After 26/11, after these current Mumbai blasts, they always expect restraint. The concern in India is that there are double standards. It's not the same standard which America sets. The moment they know there is Osama bin Laden in Pakistan, they attack him. It's never the same standard. Should that bugs people in India. But is that a reality, or do you believe America is adopting double standards? They expect restraint, yet expect India to keep talking to Pakistan regardless of how many people die in India because of the war against it.
Quite frankly, the tragedy is that, the world is indeed full of hypocrisy, that there are indeed different standards. The fact remains that when you are a much more powerful country like the United States, you have the ability to act with impunity. Weaker powers, unfortunately, suffer a great deal more. And furthermore, there are certain realities of geography. Were India to strike Pakistan, even when there is incontrovertible evidence of Pakistani complicity in a terrorist attack on the United States, on India, the danger lies is that the Pakistanis could threaten to raise the ante and suggest that they might resort to the use of nuclear weapons if there's a conventional attack on Pakistan. And consequently, this leads the United States to urge India to exercise restraint for fear of the rise to nuclear escalation. And that may indeed strike one as being hypocritical, but this is sadly a tragic reality.
All right. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, the sense in India is that while Hillary Clinton comes to New Delhi, she says the right things, but the government of India is not able to get Washington to apply adequate real pressure to act against groups like the Lashkar-e-Taiba, to prosecute those responsible for 26/11. It doesn't seem to be a pressing, engaging priority for the Washington government. They say those things, but don't do enough on the ground to turn those statements into reality, Dr. Singhvi.
Well, Rahul, welcome to the real world. Welcome to real life diplomacy. Welcome to sovereign nations. You must start with the realization that one sovereign nation can never compel another to do things exactly as per one's liking. That's real life. We call it realpolitik, call it Machiavellian politics, whatever it is. Number two, it is equally certain that America ultimately will act in its own selfish, self-national interest. And so should India. It doesn't mean that India stops in any manner criticizing Pakistan to America. It doesn't mean that India does not produce evidence against Pakistan to US. And it doesn't mean that US does not frequently act on that evidence. It may not act in the same way as we want. It may not act to the same extent as we want. It may not do something at the press of our button, but a lot has happened, let me tell you. Pakistan, along with its own very, very ham-handed, clumsy actions and inactions, and India's consistent, very, very consistent and tenacious lobbying, if I may use that word, has had tremendous impact. Pakistan today stands exposed before US. Ultimately, what USA will do will depend on partly its AFCAF policy, partly its approach towards Pakistan. But in the heart of hearts, Indian stand is having effect. When I go as a head of a parliamentary delegation and I meet senators and congressmen, you'll be amazed at the kind of reactions Pakistan has evoked. And internally, a lot of them are putting pressures, putting legislative clauses which act as safeguards to minimize Pakistan's sleight of hand, to divert aid against India, to use for anti-India purposes, etc., etc.